This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And a pleasant good evening live from Salas's Restaurant. Welcome to the second annual Media Day for football. And I don't know about you, but I am ready, beyond ready. You see all the colleges that have put out their promos to know that the season is approaching. They're already in their practice methodology, and we know that football is coming up right around the corner. And in fact, when you say how the summer goes, when you hit the 4th of July, and after the 4th of July, summer kind of seems to dissipate really fast. You get to August, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, teachers report for a lot of schools this week. Some are actually starting school next week, and get ready. We've got softball and volleyball on the network, and we've got football up around the corner. We want to first and foremost tell you that it's easy to download us on our app. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is just log into Apple or Android devices, search the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's free to download and free to watch. Also, for home devices, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. And social media, wherever you live, that's where we're going to find you. We're going to give you a update of where we've got you located, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on X, whether you're on TikTok or YouTube. And for those who are watching on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe there. So our Media Day also includes local media outlets. I want to thank Joey Goodman from the Lawton Constitution. He'll be here throwing some questions out there, as well as we here at the network that is going to be doing this, representing the schools. Now, Walters had a previous commitment of Camp Lashua, and Coach Griffin told me that they would not be able to attend tonight, and the Cash Bulldogs also had this is you can never get the perfect storm of a perfect date, but they already had something with their booster club going on from 6 until 8 going on right now at Cash. So Tanner Thompson was able to tell me that they would not be able to be here, but we've got the rest that are coming in. So, come on in. Channel 7 is going to be here as well, and they're going to be throwing out some questions. So it's that's what this Media Day is all about. So you may have seen the Big 12, you may say SEC, that throws these teams up. We're going to have each coach and players that are represented to talk about their offseason, talk about spring ball, talk about what to anticipate with all of the changes. We're going to talk about the district changes that have affected some of our schools on the network. We have 12 schools on the network, including Jones. And welcome Jones to the network, a brand new school to the Oklahoma Sports Network to make it 12. So we're excited to bring that to you. After this break, we're going to bring the Altus Bulldogs. We thought instead of drawing for straws, since they had the longest drive and an hour's transportation, we're going to do the Altus Bulldogs first. Little change for them because what we're used to seeing them in the MacArthur 5A district, they're going to go over to where we'll say the Carl Albert district is, and so they're going to have a little bit of a change of scenery as far as who they're going to be up against, and we'll talk about that and what is in store for the Altus Bulldogs. They're on the slate next for our second annual Media Day, live at Salas's Mexican Restaurant. We want to see you here. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Arrow Sign Company has been serving Oklahoma and surrounding states for over 60 years. As a family-owned business, our focus has always been on driving people to your door, not just selling you a sign. From custom sign design and manufacturing to installation and service, Arrow Sign has the knowledge and experience to deliver the ideal sign for you while using materials of the highest quality to ensure that your sign will look great for years and years to come. We design and manufacture our signs for longevity, so you get the greatest return on investment possible. Arrow Sign Company, helping your business thrive since 1955.
Well, we're back live at Salas's Restaurant, and we want you to be here to join us for Media Day, and we're so glad that you could be here along with us. If you couldn't make it in person, you can watch us live on YouTube and, of course, on the network, and we want you to download the app. So the Altus Bulldogs are up first. Coach Jeremy Reed, second time you've made the trip, an hour down the highway for us for a little bit. Why don't you start off with telling us about how summer has been for you? Your spring ball to now to your summer workouts.
Yeah, well, first, just thanks to OSN for having us out. Very appreciative of you guys doing this mainly for the kids and giving them an experience. Very grateful to have these 5 guys with me tonight, guys that were voted captains by our team and our coaches and went through a long process to get to this point. So very excited to have them here tonight. But we've had a great offseason. It goes way beyond just spring and summer. It goes back into December, really January as we began our offseason, and was fortunate to start with giving our kids some nutritional things of a high-protein breakfast every day after their workouts in the morning times, and that transitioned all the way as we got into spring ball. And spring ball was a little different for us. We had several injuries to a lot of our upperclassmen coming out of spring sports, so it allowed us to develop a lot of guys in different roles than maybe what they've been used to. And so spring went really well. For our upperclassmen, I felt like they were more comfortable. They were more used to what was being asked of them from a preparation standpoint of how they were coached and the material they needed to know. So I thought we were light years ahead for our team in the spring as opposed to that very first year. And then that just rolled into summer. Nowadays with the way the calendar works, it just feels like it never ends. And so the summer was much of the same for us as we focus heavily in the summertime on our speed and strength in the weight room. And then, you get to do a little football here and there with some 7-on-7. But phenomenal summer, very, very proud of our team and, just very excited for this group, especially the senior group.
Well, I promise I won't take all the time for questions. The only question I had is a district change. I know that you guys, we're going to start off from the beginning that, everybody thought what they knew was a schedule was locked in concrete, and then all of a sudden the OSSAA had to make all of the adjustments through that adjudication that came about, and then there was some positioning as coaches getting together about how the districts fare, and this is the first time that I've known you guys to move out of the district that you're familiar with. Talk about that decision-making, about you really kind of wanted that and the direction you're going to go and the new opponents that you'll be seeing for your district.
Yeah, first I think the whole state as football coaches, got thrown a curveball that's never been done. And I think our association, the Oklahoma Football Coach Association, handled it with just an A-plus effort. I feel like they did a great job of leading our coaches in all classes. But specifically for us, I think the 5A coaches did a phenomenal job of trying to figure this thing out, to balance things out. I think you got to take care of who you would consider the top. And then what I really think is that they did well in 5A is taking care of not just the top, but everybody. And they're going on the last 2 years of records. So obviously our record puts us at the bottom, and sometimes you get forgotten about. Sometimes, things get lost in the shuffle, and it's just about those top few teams. And so I actually was very excited. I believe I kind of brought an idea to do this regarding splitting some teams up that traditionally have always played. So I'm in great favor and excited the way the schedule came out. I mean, the first thing you see is Carl Albert and Guthrie, but, you're going to have to play them sometime anyway if you're going to go to the playoffs. And it's not like this other side doesn't have great teams either. I mean, Lawton, MacArthur, Bishop, McGinn. I mean, you just start naming them. And so, in my personal opinion, we're going to get the top 8 schools from the west side because of the way the football coaches handled this professionally, not with agendas or not with politics. They handled it with what's going to give the even amount of teams, whoever that may be. And so, my hat's off to the 5A football coaches that allowed this to happen. Well, I think everything. I think the offense was terrible last year, and that's me. I mean, I've got to do a better job. Everything falls under my hat as the head coach, and so we moved the football pretty well, but we couldn't score, and so we had to do some things in this offseason to give us a little different look, to give us a little different understanding of what we're doing. And I do know this: our upperclassmen took that very seriously. We got to have better quarterback play, and we're going to have better quarterback play. Our quarterbacks committed all offseason to be better from the mental side, not just the physical side. And then I personally think a strength that we'll have is up front. We'll have a bunch of seniors up front, 4 seniors and one junior is the projection. And those kids have grown tremendously physically, and they're going to give us some great things up front. And then when you attach that with a lot of guys returning at skill positions, I think we're going to be much, much better. I know this spring the confidence level of our kids was so much better. Us going to 7-on-7 and doing that game, even though I think it's a separate game than football, we were still doing better things than we were a year ago. And so I have a lot of confidence in the ability to be better this year offensively.
Any offensive linemen here tonight?
These 2 guys right here.
Guys, tell us what you thought about the offensive line play. How much have you been improved during the offseason?
We've definitely improved a lot as a team, as an O-line, as a group, individually too. We're definitely going to be a lot better this year. So, yeah.
What about you? Team speed. Are you a faster? You think as a team you're going faster?
I mean, yeah, when we first started our speed training, it wasn't quite where we wanted it to be. And then I think we made leaps and bounds over the off season in our change of direction and our speed. And I just love the way our coaches brought our strength program up to where it was before. And I think that can make tremendous improvement in our overall play in football.
Went over the summer out there, started pretty good. How have you guys progressed in those month or so and where you guys are right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest progression is kind of what Peyton said, is our speed is tremendously different. It's intentional for that. It didn't just happen. The way we train with the program we do is really speed-based to improve that with change of direction, mobility. And so I think the biggest difference I've seen over the last month is our change of direction and speed. And I'm excited to see how that, kind of looks on a field, because obviously we all know it's different going through drills than playing a game of football. And so my curiosity is really high on what that looks like when we start, with that first scrimmage on the 23rd.
Coach. On the last 2 years, where you guys were and how teams have judged you now. You mentioned you had a really good summer. What feels different this time around than the past 2 years?
This class, I can only speak on last year. It was the only year that I've been back for this stint. But just this group of guys, we have a total of 11 seniors, and even though that's not huge, it's big for the classes Altus has had previously. And this group of guys is very, very close. They're great friends off the field. I don't know much of anything. I'm not a very smart person. I don't do anything really well, but my gut is usually right. And this group's pretty good. This group's good from a bond standpoint. This group's got the skills to win on the field. If they can truly do what I think they can mentally and get over some of those hurdles of maybe not winning some close games in the past, because we were in a lot of games last year that honestly we should have won, and we just didn't because we didn't know how to win. But if we get past that hurdle, this group of guys is going to be the group that finally gets Altus above that mark of where they've been the last several years in the win-loss column. Yeah, we have a process. It starts with you got to build a resume. You have to turn in a second semester grade, a report card. You have to fill out a questionnaire, and then from there we select how many candidates we want to interview. We have an interview committee of adults, coaches, could be administrators, could be community members. They come in and go through an interview process. It's 9 scripted questions, and then there's always off-script questions. And then from that, we as a committee talk about each one of those in depth of what they brought to the table. And so we combine that with then a team vote. The team votes on who they would select. It's usually 4. We have 5 for reasons we won't speak of today, but there's 5. And so you combine the team vote with the committee, and that's how we formulate our captains.
And then you mentioned the redistricting. Is there like a sense of excitement that hey, we're going to go play some new teams, especially on the coaching side? Maybe you haven't played this team before, new system, everything.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think the schedule, personally, just being transparent, I don't think it could have came out any better for us. I love our schedule. There's great teams on there. There's tons of great competition on there. But I think for who we are and where we've been, and I'm not naive enough to not know that your record indicates kind of how you get taken care of in district selection process. And so for where we were in the downward trend of winning, man, I think we have a phenomenal schedule to have the opportunity to go have success, and I think this group around me believes that, and that's the most important part.
Coach, before we leave, you want to introduce your players by, when we're visual, if you want to start just introducing their names and what positions they are and what grade they're in?
Yeah. All the way on to my left is A.J. Hughes. A.J. is an offensive and defensive lineman for us. To my left is Peyton Reed. He's an offensive and defensive lineman. To my right is Brody Rogers, quarterback and D-end. And then on the end is Garrett Gribble. Garrett is the utility knife of everything. He plays a very unique position for us and does a little bit of everything on offense. And he also plays some defensive back. And all those guys are seniors.
And one guy that snuck behind you there. Okay.
Well, I was saving him because he's the only junior.
Okay, all right.
This is Cashin Lamb. Cashin is a quarterback and defensive back as well. All these guys played substantial minutes since they were probably freshmen, to be quite honest with you. And so they have lived the trials and tribulations of their football career, and it's just my hope that they can have a great experience this year.
All right, so Jeremy Reed, coach of the Altus Bulldogs in a new district, but you're going to catch all of their games all season long on the Oklahoma Sports Network, and we appreciate your time. Levi Tovar ready to start up for another season over there for the Altus Bulldogs, and we're excited to bring you into a new district as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Coach Jeremy Reed, we're going to take a timeout. We got another team on the slate. Yeah, we got 5 in the house here at Salas's Mexican Restaurant. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Goodbye, paperwork. Hello, convenience. Farewell, waiting. Hello, personal service. Catch you later, dreaming. Hello, planning. Buy your dream home, connect with a personal banker, and easily schedule an appointment with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye limits, hello possibilities.
All right, welcome back to Salas's Mexican Restaurant. We're at our second annual Media Day. Want to thank Joey Goodman, the Lawton Constitution, KSWO Channel 7 here, and, of course, the Oklahoma Sports Network. And we thought really a convenient way to get all the teams together, all the hype, and get ready for football. And I know, Coach Chalmer Wyatt, you and I talked about this, about how, we'll talk about the All-State game. Well, let's talk about that first. You had some representation out there. You had a coach out there. You were able to be on the sidelines, and all the talk that you were getting was, we're ready for football. So are you ready?
Yeah, it's that time of year. The All-State game was great. We actually had 2 make it, and then due to some roster changes, we added Michael to join Keith.
That was really a cool thing, Adesola, to be able to – and then he went on the opposite side, though, right?
No, he was
on your team. Okay, good.
Yeah, so really cool. Coach Castro coached in it, so great representation of our program, and 3 great kids that been awesome for us, and to see them all, get to play again. That's really cool because I don't know how many times there's been 3 from a team playing the game. So proud of those guys. Awesome experience, and they told them last time you'll play high school football again. So special moment. Not a lot of people get to do it. So.
Well, 2 of the questions that I had, and 2 of the teams represented today had the biggest of changes, and that is a total class change, not moving out of a district. You had your schedule already preconceived of how it was going to be, and I'm sure that made the school, when you had to map it out, say, hey, let's make all the posters out. Let's get all that stuff early, and then you have all that shaken up in the middle of the night, so to speak, at the last minute. And then we had to wait for the official ADM numbers to get a tie with you in one school that had to bump up, and we'll call out their name. Bishop McGinnis has to, play up because of that rule. They go to 5A, and you, not uncharacteristic of being there before, go to 4A. How did you take that when you first heard the news?
It felt like all that news happened within, a few days, even though it was strung out for a long time, and we crunched numbers, I think, every day for many hours. But not really unfamiliar territory. It's where, we were at for the last probably 15, 20 years. 2 years up in 5A was really good experience for us. Coming back down, some things have changed in the district with some teams. But we're excited. We're excited for it. Change, yes, but, we've played Clinton, we've played Elk City, we've played Weatherford, Cache, and a lot of those guys throughout the year. So, yeah, we got to get to know them a little bit just because we had been elsewhere. But really excited for the challenge, and, it's a tradition-rich program, district, physical. It's 4A1. I think that's how you describe it. A lot of people describe it. So looking forward to the challenge, and I think it's great wherever we ended up.
Now, it's on your shirt, and I knew that this was unveiled, so it wasn't a surprise, but I was really cool to see that the new design of Owls, and you had the state logo with the Elgin O on it, and I think this is what's going to be on the helmets this year. Is that correct? And
yeah.
What went about making that decision to do that?
Yeah, we just decided to change it up. Some colleges had used a script font on their helmets, and it looked really good on ours. Our decal guy mocked one up for us, and so we just changed it up a little bit this year. So go with something different on the helmet.
Last year, the thing that you all were so successful at was attacking, using your quickness. You got outside, you made teams defend all over the field. How are you going to be compared to last year with your quickness? Do you feel like your team speed is better overall, probably, than maybe a couple of the threats? What are you looking at on offense?
Yeah, we got to replace Matt. We got to replace Trey Crabtree, who's a runner-up in the 100-meter dash. But we ran today in our workouts. We ran 40s, and I think we had 25 guys that were under a 5 flat. So overall, I really like where our team speed is. Lots of key guys to replace, but honestly, I like it position to position. You may lose a couple burners, but I think we'll be able to combat that with just overall better team speed. And that consists of some new guys stepping up, and we're excited to watch those guys work through the fall camp and get to where we need them to.
Trace, talk about yourself, senior year. What do you think you've made the most improvement in since last season? Anything you worked on considerably to be better? Talk a little bit about your progress.
Yeah, freshman year, probably a little rough, as many would expect. And then sophomore year it got better. It was still a little rough. And then last year's, I felt like I took a big step, decision making, getting the ball to the right guys, making the right reads. And so I hope I can put it all together this year.
What about offensive line? I know you got guys here tonight that are offensive line. You got some other good this line, you've got a veteran coach, you got linemen have played a lot. How is that unit coming together? Is that one of the areas that you obviously want to be, is that going to be a key for you guys, the consistency?
Well, yeah, I think every team, your offensive line should be like the closest together team on the field, and we all have great trust. We lost Keith and Carson, but we got new people in, and Tony Cade Ugumaro. He came in.
We're still
Easy
learning.
for you to say, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we'll be good. We're gonna be huge this year, and we're all so tight knit, and it's just we're gonna be really good up front, and that's really important with us. How we run the ball and how we protect Trace over there. It's just we'll be good. I mean, football's football. I mean, I haven't really looked at sizes of anybody I'm going to play against yet, but I expect to face some dudes in 4A like we face some dudes in 5A. Every team has their own dudes.
Coach, switching back to 4 right now, what do you think the difference is? Mainly talent, schematically, what do you think is going to be the biggest change?
The biggest change is probably just getting familiar with our district again. Like I touched on earlier, 4A1 has been known to be extremely physical and produce, state champions quite often, Clinton. And so it's more just getting familiar with who they are again, and it's kind of I guess you could say an old school district in a lot of ways still, so we've got to be able to, combat that, and we've got to make sure that we're physical going into it, and we've got to be sound in everything we do. So it's a different challenge, but probably the biggest thing is getting used to that. And then there's new teams there too, and, it's a new year so whoever you've got to look at them and see who they are, and devise our game plan to go against it. So.
For Trace, obviously being a senior now, having success, especially as a rookie, is there a change in pressure this year where it's like, hey, the stakes are this much higher, the expectations are this high? Do you feel that going into the season?
No, not really. I don't think there's any more pressure on me this year than there was the past 3 years. It's just one more time, so I'm just going to go out and give it all I can.
The class we have this year was a big part of what we did last year. That they're really special to me. They were my first group of 7th graders when I got here, so they're my babies, and we've been through a lot together. They've got a 23-10 record as high school football players. They've heard everything that we've said to them, and they're really coachable, and I think there's just a really strong foundation. Maybe more so than last year's unit with these guys, just because they're just a year more familiar with us and just who they are, and they're just football players, and they're coachable, and I think they're a really special bunch. Any of the district games, obviously, but, right off the bat, we would play a tough MacArthur team, and I think that's a highly anticipated matchup with two good football teams on the opening night of high school football. I think that's really cool, and we get to do it on a Thursday night. I don't look ahead, so, and that game's as big as they come, so let's just stick with that one.
What about defense? Do you guys want to talk a little defense? You're not back. What do you guys think about the defense? A lot of things to look up to. You all played really good defense all year last year. What does this unit look like? I know you haven't got them started, but what do you think about this unit?
I think we're going to be physical again like we were last year, and we lost a few guys. We're battling at the corner spot, and I think we replaced Jack, and we still got Jace on the D-line. We lost 2 linebackers, but we're battling right there. I think we're going to be physical, fast, and I think our feet's getting a lot better, reading the plays, keys. Shay, you want anything? Got anything?
Yeah, Shay, talk about some of those touchdowns. You had a touchdown last year. You had a lot of fun. What do you like, playing one versus the other? You like both?
Football's football in my eyes. I love it. I just love the game. It's a big part of my life. That's all I've ever known. Living in Elgin, that's all we've done is just play football. About the defense is going to be black flag defense again. We're going to be strong. We're going to be fast. We're going to be physical. Everybody's going to fly to the ball. I already know. I trust my guys, and I know they got my back, so I'm going to have theirs.
Thanks, guys.
All right, the Elgin Owls, and we mentioned, as Coach mentioned, last-minute jockeying for that 0 week. It is going to be MacArthur and Elgin at Cameron Stadium Thursday to really kick off. And now 0 week is just an average week for everyone. I mean, I remember when we started 0 week, there was like 2 or 3 teams that played 0 week, and now it's only 2 or 3 teams that don't play 0 week. Everybody's in on it. One last question with that: do you like that format now? Before they say, I don't know about 0 week, but then you get a bye week, and some of them like to sandwich that right before district play. Are you a fan of 0 weeks? Well, I guess you have to be since you're playing it this year. But what do you think about 0 week?
Yeah, I mean, I think it presents some different challenges with your preparation. You know, you're playing a week earlier, you get one scrimmage, so you may tweak some things with what you do during the week, how you do them. But, you know, I also don't like that second scrimmage sometimes. So I get antsy during that one. I'm just ready to get out. So, you know, and this is a good group to do it with, honestly. We're really experienced, and we got guys that know our system well, so I think that helps also going into this early. But, yeah, different challenges. You know, we got to coach a little different with things we got to get in on a timely manner and stuff. But I'm excited for it.
All right, Chalmer Wyatt, Elgin Owls, and you can catch them all season long on the Oklahoma Sports Network. I want to thank Jack Baker. He's in the house as well. He's supporting, and he's been given a lot of gestures, evidently, because I'm looking at Laura and seeing how the response is from that. So 4 years, and he's going to be at the helm as a senior quarterback when it just seems not too long ago they were saying stepping in the freshman role. And he's got records to beat because he's got brothers in the record books that he wants to still compete with. So he's got something else to look forward to. Okay, we're going to take a little time out. The Elgin Owls can be found right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Lawton Community Health Center is a place for babies, kids like me, and even teenagers. Nice people are there to help you when you're hurt or you just don't feel good. And even if you do, they give you medicine so you don't get sick and physicals so you can play sports. I'm happy to know they'll be there when I need them. And my mom is too.
LCHC, your hometown healthcare.
Well, we're back live at Salas's. We want to thank Salas's Mexican Restaurant. They're in East Gore, right over by the railroad tracks. You can fill yourself up. I'm debating on either puffy tacos or I've got a decision to make here in just a few minutes. And so we want to thank Joey Goodman from the Lawton Constitution, James Wicks from Channel 7 on KSWO, part of our second annual Media Day. We talked to the Altus Bulldogs with Coach Jeremy Reed, had the Elgin Owls with Chalmer Wyatt, and we'll go over now to the Eisenhower Eagles on the west side of Lawton, and we got Javon Harris. And Coach Harris, familiar territory now. You're not the new green coach on the block. We got someone else in town that's going to fill those shoes. So you're not the new guy anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're an old hat at this. We talked about this with Coach Wyatt with Elgin, and we talked about there was 3 teams in our network right now that aren't having district changes. They're having class changes.
Yes,
so
sir.
now you, familiar way back when you had to play as a player against when you're a MacArthur 5A, playing the old 6A schools of Lawton High, Eisenhower. Well, now you're at 6A and 6A2.
Yes,
So
sir.
how did you take the news to say, okay, well, I thought I had my 5A schedule all mapped out, and now I'm going to 6A2?
Man, honestly, man, when I took this job, they kind of told me, hey, we kind of projecting y'all might be going up to 6A in the next couple of years. So, we kind of prepped for that when we first started this job. When we brought the staff in and kind of let these guys know that, hey, there's a very strong possibility that we go up to 6A. So our guys kind of understood what the assignment would be when we got to that point. And really just, man, for us, we were excited. I think these guys understood that, whoever we play, we all got to put our pads on the same way. And, going up a class is just, another stepping stone for us in the program in a whole.
Okay. I want to get you got number one, Mr. Hertz, next to you, and I want to talk to briefly because I want to talk about your rehab. I know you got taken out early in the season, and you had to come back. So how are you health-wise, and are you ready to go to get off on the first start of the game?
Yes, sir. I'm 100%. I'm working my butt off here with my guys, just having fun all summer.
Any kind of goals you set for yourself coming into this season?
I really just want to come in and help my team because I didn't really get to do that last year, but I just want to have a big senior season, contribute a lot.
Now, I know that you got Sherry Sheridan right over there next to Coach on the other side, and he really made a name for himself. He was one of our, newcomers of the year nominees at our banquet, and the thing is that he was so impressed with that because he told us at the banquet that when he came in, no one expected him. No one had he didn't have a name or anything. So how are you two going to work together now as a tandem?
We've been doing this forever, like since middle school. And he's always been that guy. He's always been a guy for us ever since middle school. So it wasn't surprising seeing him do that last year when I went down. So this year it should be a next level.
Picked up the reins. Joey?
One of the things you guys were really focused on this year was offensive line, getting more consistency on the offensive line. How is the line coming together in spring ball? You guys feel pretty confident about it?
Yes, sir, I do. My line getting strong. I trust them. I love them. We hang out almost every weekend, so we've been getting that real tight bond. So I'm excited going in with my guys and my line.
What about defense? You guys, had a lot of good stops. Is it consistency just one of the things you got to get a little better at on defense? Did you feel like when you look back at the season, what area of the defense was the focus, or was there one?
I got you. Who you want, Coach?
Go ahead.
I got you. I would say most definitely would be a consistency deal for us on defense. Just cleaning things up. I thought probably last year we had a lot of signs that showed that we have a good defense. We have a defense that works. And, like I said, it's just minor detail things that need to happen. And, when you go into this third year, I think the guys understand the defense and exactly what we're wanting out of it and what we're doing. I think we got a lot more depth this season as well, just with a lot of guys that understand what to do. That's what comes with that third season. Just a lot of guys have been around, been in the program. We have a lot of 3-year guys that have only been underneath me and only heard this defense and only heard this verbiage. So it's going to allow us to go out here and play fast and not think so much. I think one of the deals for us as a whole, when we talk about it as a staff, is, we want to make sure that we're a disciplined defense and do all the little things right, stay on sides on the ball, make sure we're, lining up in the right positions, and we know what we're looking at when we line up. So we definitely, pride ourselves on being smart, fast, and physical. We got guys like Siri that come back. We got, on both sides of the ball, we bring back more than 6 guys that have played or started in a game, So I think that's something that, goes with the depth as far as, what's going on when we move forward, and also just kind of the camaraderie of the team as well.
You kind of touched on having 6 starters coming back on both sides. How important is that, especially going into 6A play, where you have guys who've seen it before, and you have the depth pieces? How big is that going to be?
Man, I think for us is, and I talk to these guys about the seniors a lot about this, is, for the past couple of years we've kind of looked around for the guy who's going to make the play, who are the next guys to make a play if something happens. And, when you don't have depth, it's hard to find those guys. When you don't have a bunch of guys that understand what's going on, it's hard to, look for those guys. So, going into year 3 with this amount of experience, when the game is on the line, these guys have guys that they can, uphold, they can trust, that they know, what we're looking for, what the standard is, and what we expect. So, I think that's one of the bigger things for us. It's important for the camaraderie of the team as well, and just making sure that we push forward, and for these guys to understand that, when it comes down to team and team ball, when you have experience and you have depth, it's just a trust factor for these guys, and knowing that I got a guy next to me that I can trust and a guy behind me that I can trust. Most definitely. I think, like I said, for us going into year 3 and preaching that year 3 deal is kind of just, one voice. There's no mix of, what I've heard before. There's just kind of, this is what we expect, this is what we run, this is what we do. And now that base and that foundation, you can get a little bit more, exotic with. We actually kind of pride ourselves on being less exotic, being a lot more simple. I think that's something that we're actually going to come to this season, is being a lot less exotic and a lot more simple for our guys to play fast and not think so much.
You guys in Elgin both switch in class. Y'all from class 5A, you played the murder road.
Most definitely.
How does that translate into this year? Like, how different?
Man, I think we just prepared. I think it prepared us for a next level jump. In my opinion, I think that, when you take 5A and 6A2 and 6A1, you got a very minor, level of change. I think that us playing these teams the past 2 years has kind of got us in a position where we can go out and we can compete with these teams. We have the confidence of knowing that, a lot of these 5A teams that we played beat up on some of these 6A2 teams. So knowing that we know on our second year that we came in and we started making the strides that we needed to in this program to turn the program around completely. And going into 6A2, I think we have enough confidence going into it, knowing that, hey, we're starting to make that full turn, and now the program is here.
You guys are signed to commissary, legit playmakers going into this season. How excited are you to get them out in space and get them the ball?
Oh, man, I went over this winter, and somebody told me, Javon, the only thing you got to do is get the ball in your best playmaker's hands. So we're going to follow that. These guys are very special, obviously, but it's a testament to their hard work and what they do on and off the field. And I think that, God has blessed these guys, obviously, with some tremendous talent. But to me, what I see is their work ethic when there's nobody looking, when people are, wondering how are these guys getting all this notoriety, how do they make these plays, it's when nobody's looking, these guys is outside. On the field. These guys go to work every day. I know they best friends. I know they talk every day, but they love the game of football. I know that they'll tell you the same thing. And I think that's what, has been the change of this program. It's just guys that love the game, love each other, and you can feel it in the locker room as well as, there's a big change, a big difference, a big feeling that's going around, and it's going to be a good thing going on the west side.
At first it was a little stressing, and then I had my guys, coach, mom, dad, all telling me that my time was coming. So I kind of just mellowed out, just put my head down, started working, and then the rest just came. Yeah.
So our second annual Media Day continue. A couple of course questions for you, Coach Harris, is why don't you introduce your players, what positions they are and what grade they are on the screen so they can show? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So we got Isaiah Esquivel, returning D lineman, and he'll help us with some fullback as well. Also a returning captain from last year. He's been a starter for 2 years as well. So a 3-year guy. Siri Sheridan, number 10, wide receiver, DB, return specialist, Mr. Everything. So obviously we got Rashad Hurt, running back, coming back off of ACL last year. Really looking forward to seeing him back at running back. You'll see him out at some H-back as well, some out at receiver. He thinks he got some hands, but we'll see what it looks like. But then we got Dante Nolan, a guy that we got off the basketball court. I think for the past 2 years I pulled a basketball kid out of nowhere, and they came and helped us. And this spring, Dante showed us that he has a little gadget gear that we've been missing on our team a little bit. So, man, I'm excited to see how he's going to help us this season. And a really good group of seniors. As you know, Charlie Trockey will be back. Quarterback. He's in Florida right now, but he would have been here as well. So, man, he's been working hard this summer, doing some really good things. So, man, we're excited to see how Charlie is.
Well, we're excited to have you in the 6A group to see what you guys can do. And then finally, kind of off the high school level, former alum for the University of Oklahoma, SEC. What do you feel about that?
I'm loving it, man. Hey, big-time football. I mean, what else can you ask for? Some big-time games. I know me and Coach Williams back there, we done already talked about the OU-Mizzou game.
Okay.
So,
and how many people have hit you up for OU-Alabama tickets?
Man, too many to count, and I'm just letting everybody know that those things don't come like they used to. But, man, I'm really excited, man. I mean, again, Coach Venable's going on his, third year as well.
Yeah.
Really excited to see how these guys turn up and what's going to happen in the SEC. I think we pretty much getting slept on a little bit. I think we're going to come out better than what people expect.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So Javon Harris, Eisenhower Eagles, and you can catch all of their games right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We still have the MacArthur Highlanders and the Lawton High Wolverines in the house. Salas's Mexican Restaurant. That's where we are at the second annual Media Day right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Want to take the stress out of your next remodel or building project? Comanche Home Center can deliver all the lumber, supplies, and tools right to you. When you're done, they'll pick up anything you don't use and give you credit towards your next project. Give Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Here at Carpet One, we have a great selection of carpet, hardwood, vinyl, tile, laminate, and area rugs. With all this, you're sure to find exactly what you want for your home. Come browse our exclusive selection or give Carpet One at Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Becker Raybon Funeral Home has been serving the funeral needs of Southwest Oklahoma since 1940 and is owned by the Raybon family. We believe family ownership makes a great difference in the care and service your family receives. Their staff is eager to find ways to assist you. Whether it's with live streaming or benefit assistance, we can help. When it comes to measuring personal levels of service, there are other funeral homes, and then there is ours. Becker Raybon Funeral Home, 1502 Fort Sill Boulevard.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs, we make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Whether you order online or on our app, Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go will have your subs boxed, bagged, and ready for pickup. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
When it comes to your health, you want and deserve the best. You want a hospital with the highest quality scores in the region and one that provides safe, excellent care. Southwestern Medical Center has been a part of this community for 115 years and has a history of delivering compassionate, skilled health care to Lawton and Fort Sill. Choose the hospital that has always put the health of this community first. Southwestern Medical Center. Be well. Live well. That's
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Are you ready to find your dream home?
Let's find it together.
We can help you find that perfect home and walk you through the buying process.
Or maybe you just want to sell your home. We can help with that too.
Hi, I'm Pam.
And I'm Barry. We've been helping buyers and sellers for 21 years.
Together, we could help you sell your home.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
Well, we're back live at Salas's Mexican Restaurant. It's our second annual media day, and we have representation of almost all of our media here in Southwest Oklahoma. James Wicks from KSWO, Channel 7 Sports, and Joey Goodman from the Lawton Constitution and right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Up next, the MacArthur Highlanders and Coach Brett Manning. And first off, I guess we've been talking all these changes of, this is going to this district and this is moving up a class. You're the only one that's staying put, but you're going to get some new fresh blood. You get Newcastle coming down, which is another OSN channel that's switched from 4A. They jump up to 5A. They happen to be in your district. And then Bishop McGuinness. Only heard tales of Bishop McGuinness when they would have clash against Carl Albert, and you hear their scores and you hear playoff stuff. But outside of that, unfamiliar with us as far as a program when you follow it. So talk a little bit about when you heard the changes, what adjustments you had to make.
Well, it was a very strange year as far as that goes. We get all our districts set, and then, a court ruling forces everybody to go back to the drawing board and do it all over again. And, it is what it is. We were scrambling late to try to get it done. And, the district's one thing. Trying to find the non-district games was harder than anything else. But, it all worked out. And I think that, our district's still tough. It was going to be tough before they made the changes. It's still tough, and we got to go play.
Okay, so talk a little bit about with now those changes of the district and that. But you talked about the schedule. 0 week was something that we mentioned with the Elgin Owls, and I know that you had a 0 week already predetermined, and then they kind of switched on you, and they said, okay, well, we're not coming after all. And I guess your great relationship with someone right down the road, but has become an instant, I guess, a classic rivalry in a hurry because you've only seen them 2 years. They came here at Cameron Stadium, and then you went there last year, and now it's a 0 week. It's not a district game, 0 week. Right. How does that present itself to start off the season?
Well, I think it's really good. They were in our district. We had somebody else scheduled. They backed out, and being right here, it's crazy for us not to play. And it's a great game. It's a great gate. It's just it's one of those things that. For us right now, I think we haven't really done ourselves any favors with our pre-district the last few years, and who we've played. I like playing really good teams, and with John Marshall the last couple years, hasn't really given us the challenge that I think prepares us for our big district games, and Elgin will definitely do that. So I think it was a great pickup, and it's going to be a fun game, and should be a fun game for years to come.
Joey,
Coach, what was I know in the spring ball you talked about some of the things you were focusing on. What did you really like coming out of spring? Any one thing that you said we got to work on this, and it really came up, and you got some prospects and areas that you needed to improve in? Anything in particular, or just overall?
Well, I think we have a pretty experienced team. We've got guys that have been playing for a couple years now, like these two guys, and got some younger kids. Had several handful of sophomore starters last year. I feel like we're really experienced. My main thing that I really liked about not only our spring ball but our off season, and then it continued on into summer pride, was our kids. It means a lot to them. They work really hard. They've been one of the best groups we've ever had, maybe the best group we've ever had. Just the way they show up and get after it, and whether they're in the weight room or doing agilities on the field or practice, everything's really high intensity, and it's just they're a pleasure to coach. It's a really good group with a lot of great leadership.
The secondary was a bright spot last year. I guess you lost X-Man, right? Dukes is the only one gone off that unit.
Actually, he was outside backer, but well, we've got a lot of experience there. Adam Austin will be a 3-year starter, and he's just a junior, and AJ Vaughn will be a 3-year starter, and Trey Williams. So got a lot of experience there, and it's a really talented group.
You want to talk about having, you lose people to graduation, and that's usually, it's a starting over point. And Elgin has a senior quarterback coming out. You have a sophomore that's going to be a junior with a wide receiver that was also, we're bragging up that class a lot, but how does that help you, the confidence level, knowing what they did, finished off last year at the Guthrie game in playoffs to now spring forward into this year?
Yeah, they, I'm very comfortable with Avon. I think, Josh is a very capable receiver, and so is Bo DeLong and some of these other guys that maybe haven't been playing a whole lot of offense. They've been primarily defensive guys like A.J. Vaughn, like Trey Williams, going to be rolling in a little bit on offense too. So, really, really happy with the way those guys finished the year last year, and I've got a lot of confidence in them going forward.
What do you think he brings to the offense for you guys, being under center this year?
Avon is he's a great athlete. He's a strong kid. He's he's a plus 400 pounds on squat and plus 240 in clean. It means a lot to him. He works really hard. He's got speed. He's athletic and he's smart and got a great arm. He may end up being one of the best that I've ever had, which is saying something because I've coached quite a few good quarterbacks. But I think the sky's the limit for him, and he's a dual threat for sure. And he's got a lot of confidence, and he's got a good handle on what we're doing offensively. And I'm really privileged to be able to coach him. We do.
How do you think they're going to translate this year? How much steps do you think they're taking forward in the offseason?
Yeah. A lot of times, I've been doing this long enough to know that a lot of times some of your great athletes, your college-type guys, maybe aren't the hardest workers, aren't these guys. And I tell people all the time, one of the best deals that I've got going on is our best players are our best workers, they're our best leaders, they're everything you would want. They're not the prima donnas. They're not the guys that you really have to kind of pulling teeth to get them to do what they're supposed to do. And not just them. We're very fortunate right now we pretty much got a whole team of guys that are doing what's expected of them and doing it with great attitude. So yeah, we're excited about those guys and what they can bring to us this year as well as everybody else.
You touched philosophy of scheduling a really hard game for you guys to play Elgin Owls.
Yeah.
What's the philosophy of maybe choosing a school that you know you could beat or starting off strong?
Yeah. Well, wins are good. Everybody likes to win. I think what's the most important in your first 3 games, it's 4 for us this year because we only have 6 district games because Guyman's not playing. But having some good challenges is important, and I think we're win or lose, Elgin's going to be way better for us than John Marshall was, and of course Lawton High and Eisenhower are always big rivalries, and then we're playing a 6A team in Ponca City week 3. So a challenging non-district is something that I was kind of looking for going into it. So it's going to be good, and we're going to learn a lot about our team.
Introduce both your players since they're up here with you, their positions and their grade.
Okay, both seniors. This is Joe Warner to my right. He's
offensive line.
Offensive line. He started at center as a sophomore, moved to tackle last year, and he's going back to center for his senior year.
Okay.
And then Trey Kibble here has been defensive end starter for a couple years. Also plays some fullback for us.
Mr. Kibble, why don't you get on the mic and tell us what you did to prepare for this season, and how has the summer been?
The summer's been really good. I feel like my team and me have all became really closer over the off season. We put in extreme amount of work, more than I've probably ever had on any of the teams I've been on, and I'm just really excited to see what we can do this year.
Mr. Warner, we'll ask you that you were asked to go from center to tackle back to center, and that's a lot of responsibility that a coach will put on you. And now you're a senior, got a handle on it. You got a quarterback that understands a little bit more. But talk about that, going back to that center role for this year.
I think going back to center for me, it's like going back to home. I think it's a position that I fit more, my body-wise. But tackle was good for me. It taught me a lot, blocking in space mostly. But center, I feel a little bit more at home. I think it's going to be a good spot for me this year.
Talk about that little senior retreat that you guys just got off of. What does that mean to you? I know that you kind of look on the outside as an underclassman of, hey, one day we get to do that, but now you've experienced it. Coach has put that together. What do you feel about that little retreat camp?
As an underclassman, the senior retreat, like, we look up to it. We don't really know what's going on there. Actually,
and no one will. Yeah. What happens at the retreat state? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yep.
But actually getting to experience it, it's exciting. Spending those couple of days with all the senior guys, it really brought us a lot closer. Some of the guys I didn't talk to as much. All we did was talk to each other. We had nothing else to do. So
no phones.
Yeah.
No phones. Oh wow, it's very nice.
At first, no phones, negative, but I think it really just brought us all together.
How soon did you have withdrawal when you said no phones? Was it like 30 seconds or was it like 5 minutes or what?
Man.
They're glued to you, Yeah. Like, where's my phone?
It really wasn't that bad, because we have all of our guys there, and just the way we all conversate with each other, it's practically the same entertainment we would get from our phones,
Okay, now wait, I know we have Coach speak, and Coach talked, nice about, our 0-week opponent for Elgin and all the rest of that stuff. And I asked him ahead of time, I said, well, what was the team's response when, okay, Elgin's in our district, we're going to play them, and then all of a sudden you already had a 0-week opponent, Elgin's not going to be there, and then at the last minute, he said you guys responded positively. You guys really wanted Elgin. You didn't want that off the schedule. Is that a true statement of what Coach said?
Yes, sir. Last couple of years, taking that L to Elgin, it hurts, man. Like, we don't want to just give that game up. We want to win that game.
Right.
That means something to us. We care about that a lot.
All right, so you'll look forward to that on 0 week. It's a Thursday night, and you don't even have to compete against the Oklahoma Sooners. That'll be Lawton High and Eisenhower. Is a Friday game out of nowhere, that's come in. But ESPN had their privilege of, we want the first OU-SEC game, and I said, Friday? Really, Friday? That's high school night. Okay, so good luck to the MacArthur Highlanders, and we'll be seeing you on the Oklahoma Sports Network as well. All right, so we'll take another timeout and be back. We got the Lawton High Wolverines and Lorenzo Williams, new coach to the Wolverines, and yes, another class change. We're going down with 6A to 5A, and we'll do that right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs. We make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Whether you order online or on our app, Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go will have your subs boxed, bagged, and ready for pickup. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
We're back at Salas's Restaurant, and boy, we've got a nice contentious argument that was started by the Lawton High Wolverines. Has nothing to do with football. And all a coach asked was it Michael Jordan and the player actually asked me, or LeBron James? And you can really tell a generation gap when it comes to the answer.
They sleep, man.
Yeah, it's MJ all the way. I'm sorry. It's
LeBron is the second best basketball player of all time. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it at all, man, okay?
All right, so our second annual Media Day continues at Salas's. We want to thank them for their great hospitality, great food, and you can come and eat with us afterwards if you'd like to be a part of it. And our second annual Media Day has been a great success, and it's because of the participation of all the teams. Of course, we had Walters that could not come. They had a Camp Lashua agreement with Coach Griffin, and so he apologized. And then Cash had their, and this is competing with everybody's schedules, they had a big meet the Bulldogs night kind of a thing before they started off school, and so they had to bow out. So we'll get Cash with our coaches show coming up on Tuesday starting at 6 p.m., and we rotate all of our 5 schools with all 3 Lawton schools plus Cash and Elgin, and you can catch it on Tuesday nights. But Lorenzo Williams, new head football coach of the Lawton Wolverines, and first off, I was able to sit in and a couple of one-on-one interviews with you, talk to the alumni. I was there, sitting there, but if they didn't get to see that, quickly give us a little bio introducing yourself to the community, is because I joked with Javon Harris, his 3rd year, and he was always the new guy in town. Well, now, congratulations, you fit that bill. You're the new guy in town.
I'm all right with that, man. New guys look pretty good to people, so I mean, as long as I look good for right now, I ain't lost no games yet, sir.
That's right.
Everybody still loves me, so I'm good. So I've been coaching for 15 years, man. I graduated from Midwest City in 03, went to the University of Missouri, played there for 5 years, 07, played 3 years in the NFL, mostly practice squad stuff, and played in the CFL for a year. That was cool. Started a couple businesses, ran that for a little while, got into coaching, and have been doing, sold all the business and started coaching. It's pretty much the long and short of it.
So you get in this position, and one of the first things you're doing, you're recruiting the hallway. I think your numbers are up, but talk a little bit about the change. It wasn't a change for you, but Lawton High was always a 6A school forever and ever, amen. And they won a state championship in 5A because 6A didn't exist. So you go through all those changes, and then you're so used to accustomed to 6A, and we've already talked to Elgin that they were a 5A and they go back to 4A, and then when you talk about Eisenhower was 5A, they go to 6A2, and now you guys flip-flop, and now you're in 5A. So talk about that change and what you anticipate for this year in your district.
I mean, I'm a little nervous, man, to be honest with you. I played coaching the 6A1 for 8 years. You just get used to guys' coaching styles. You used to what kind of teams they're going to put on the field. You get to know guys really well. I got some great friends that coach the 6A1, so, you get to know them, you get to talk to them a little bit, and this is a definitely new situation for me. So the only team I'm comfortable playing against is Enid, because I've been playing against them for 8 years. But, me and Coach Connor got a good little relationship going. But going down to 5A, man, I mean, it's a lot of competition in 5A. 6A2 is pretty good, top half, but, it is what it is. But 5A, man, it's kind of like where the next group of, the next top group of guys go sit down and they play football, play some great football down there. So, our district, by itself with Carl Albert and Guthrie starting off is huge. Me and Mike Dunn, his dad was actually my middle school principal when I was at Maroney. So I've been knowing the guys for a long time, but he's done a great job at Carl Albert keeping that tradition going. And they're going to be tough. Guthrie's going to be tough. Coach Beebe is crazy, and his team plays like that. So he's a great dude. I love him to death, But his guys reflect his attitude a lot, and that says a lot about him and the way those guys play. So, but everybody else is just new to me. I don't know. I've met the coach from Noble, and I met the coach from Western Heights and John Marshall. I've met these guys, but never coaching against them is kind of a little nervous. So, we'll figure it out. We'll get it together.
Well, I know you mentioned this to the alumni, but, tell us again about what you wanted these kids to know about you, because you're new. You come in there, they don't know. You can give them the resume all day long, but when it comes down to the end of the day, what did you want them to know most about you?
More than anything, man, just I'm going to lead with love. We're going to love each other. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have fun. If we're not having fun playing football, I don't know why we're doing it. It's a game, you know what I mean? But we're going to love each other. We're going to play hard for each other, and that's where it's going to start and end at for me. So I think a couple of these guys up here wasn't football players to start off with, but I told them to give me a week. During spring ball, they came out and gave me a week. We got to build a really good relationship during track season, so that helped a lot. We got another guy's baseball guy that they haven't played, so I kind of had to drag him out the hallways a little bit to come throw for me a little bit. But once they got to know me, I think Nikhil told me I was corny about 8 times when I first met him. But I'm a little weird. Yeah, I'm a little weird. I'm a nerd. I got a Star Wars tattoo and stuff. I'm a big Star Wars fan. Game of Thrones is on all the time in my house. So I do things a little different. I'm a little different. But at the end of the day, they know I love them. They know I care about them. We're gonna have a good time and go play some great football.
Well, we're gonna open the floor with questions, but introduce your players' positions and what grades they're in.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start over here. We got to go left to right, bro.
All right. It's like reading a book.
All right. We got Nathan. Because y'all got to talk on it. Yeah, all right, I'll put it down. Yeah, all right. We got Nathan the Zip through right here. He's going to play quarterback for us this year. Nathan Jones.
What grade is he?
He's going to be a senior.
Senior?
All these
Okay.
guys are going to be seniors.
Okay.
Nathan Jones going to be a running back for us, strong safety a little bit. Tavarius Deans. Tudor is my guy. All right. All right, he play receiver and safety for us, and then Kel Adams is going to play receiver for us. So.
And now I know you got a basketball guy asking a basketball question.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
But
Yeah,
listen,
okay.
it don't though. Don't let him fool you. All right, don't make that much sense. You know that's crazy.
We'll open up the floor with questions there.
Yep.
Coach, being new, kind of tell us offensively. Do you have a certain scheme you like offensively, defensively? Tell us a little bit of what we can expect watching you Wolverines.
We're gonna be a little different. And listen, I played against Lawton when I was in high school, so I know that a lot of the offensive stuff. If that's like the number one question I've been getting since I've been here is what we're gonna do on offense. And I'm not. I mean, listen, when we played against Lawton in high school, man, it was awesome. You know, I mean, we Andrew Alexander's of the world and those, Antonio Perkins of the world. You can run any offense with those guys, and it's gonna be really, really good. So, but we're gonna be a little different this year. We're gonna be a little more fast paced. Gonna spread it out a little bit. I got some really good guys on the edges, and we need to get the ball to those guys pretty quickly, and then we just kind of open up the game for our run game to take over in the back half of the game type deal. Just in general, we're 11 personnel team, so we're going to be looking a lot like Tennessee. As far as we're going to spread guys out a little bit. We're going to throw the deep ball a lot. I got a lot of guys that can run and catch and do that thing. My quarterback can throw it there, so we're going to make sure we do that. And then once we get the guys out the box, we're going to hand the ball to our running backs and let them go have some fun. So offensively, that's what we're going to do. Defensively, we are 4-2-5. I mean, everybody's running it right now, so it is what it is. But we're a little bit different with how we send pressures. I'm a defensive guy in general. Got a chance to sit in the room with a lot of great. I mean, when I'm talking about Hall of Fame coaches and Hall of Fame players, I learned a tremendous amount of football sitting in Baltimore for a year. I like to tell people I went to the NFL with a bachelor's in football and left Baltimore with a doctorate. So, it's impressive what I learned there, but more importantly, what I can teach. So we're gonna be really simple. I mean, we got some dudes that can run, so we're gonna play. We're gonna play some man defense. I think that's kind of what I was known for in 6A1 was I don't care who we playing against. We're gonna play some man defense. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna my philosophies on defense is we're gonna find out if you cut your offensive line and how tough your quarterback is. We coming to get them. So that's pretty much how I coach defense. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's huge. I mean, because a lot of these guys that are playing in the back end for me play basketball. So, me and Coach Chevy Smith got a great relationship. We've talked multiple times, and I'm kind of using some of his terminology for his full court press stuff for our defensive stuff. So, it makes sense to these guys. So, we got some athletes, we got some dudes that can run. And we're gonna teach them how to play. I mean, we don't really got to teach them very much. Just face up, face guard, don't let the guy get by you. That's pretty much, that's pretty much it. Let the athleticism take over. So that's kind of how we like to roll with that.
Going out to different, schools and everything like that. So, hey, going out to different games, everything like that. Going out, maybe recruiting players and stuff like that. How important is that, especially in your first year, to get guys out?
Yeah, I think the first thing that was kind of crazy to me is that people was telling me I think we only had 30 some odd kids on the team at the end of the season last year, and the first when you coming from outside of Lawton, so there's two different schools that thought about Lawton, from inside of Lawton and from outside of Lawton. So from outside of Lawton, it looks like all the kids are leaving. They're going to other schools and going to Cash and Elgin and Mac and Ike and all that kind of stuff, and that kind of deal. But inside of Lawton, when I got there, my athletic director told me it's 60 kids in the hallway. You got to go get out for football. So I'm like, all right. I'm going to go walk the hallways, So I didn't really have to go very far to get kids just across the street from my office and just walk through the hallways and start recruiting dudes. And a couple of these dudes are a little tougher than other ones, because we got some great basketball players that's kind of giving it a chance to come out. Got some great baseball players that's giving it a chance to come out. So, it's a lot of guys that have done a lot of different things since they've been at Lawton High and hadn't played football. So that's kind of my selling point to them was, give me a week, come out for spring ball. If you don't like it, you can quit. I'll walk you back to the other sport if I need to. But for the most part, that's how we started. We got our numbers up real quick doing that, because when they came out, they had fun, had a good time. They felt the love a little bit, and they wanted to see what it was about. They kept showing up in the summer, so that was a big deal. Our summer was huge this summer. A lot of guys. We had a lot of 100% guys, a lot of people there, about 70, 80 kids a day. So that was a huge deal to get those kids out for summer and kind of push them a little bit, kind of find out where their limits was at. So once you get them out there, like I said, we didn't have to go too far to find dudes. We just had to talk them into it and convince them that we was going to have some fun and have a good time. And they did that. It came out, had fun, and they stuck with us. So we're happy about that.
You kind of touched on having guys 100% in camps being there. How big is that to build a culture? Maybe not necessarily for this year, but just years down.
No, listen, these guys. The one thing that I would tell you about my guys, man, they did a great job of setting an example for our younger kids that came to Summer Pride all summer. We had not very many, probably at the most 26 middle school kids that came out and worked out every day with us, but those kids understand the culture. When I go to middle school football practice now, it looks different than I think it's looked before because they are giving the culture to everybody else who wasn't there. And the thing is, where it starts to not be cool to not be around. It's not cool to not come to Summer Pride. It's not cool to miss practice. It's not cool, and they're doing it. It's player-led, and they making it happen. So they did a great job. I mean, I can't speak enough about the dudes. These guys sitting up here, the rest of the 28 seniors that we got, did an outstanding job this summer setting the tone, believing in me and trusting me and what we got going, understanding what the program is and how the process works, and then buying into that 100% and then going out there and going to get it. So that was a huge, huge deal this summer. I think the culture set. I think really, I tell you, when I got here, man, Coach Smith, man, at basketball, like when I first seen our basketball team play, I was like, man, this is going to be easy to coach these guys, man. They play hard. I mean, they get after people. They full court pressing. They know how to do things that I need them to be able to do. So I'm just trying to piggyback off of that. So he really set the tone for me before I got there. And then us having a real good relationship, being able to get some of these guys out, they've changed what the football team looks like a little bit. And when we add football players to that too. So it's a complete thing. Like it's not just a football thing for me. When I go into a place, I like to be involved in wrestling. Coach Elber's a great dude. Coach Predator baseball. I like to get in. I like to get in, man. And, I'm the track coach too, so I can do some stuff with that. But we want to get in and change. We want to change the whole school. That's what we want to do.
Brandon, you kind of touched on that change. You guys have been on the wrong side of those losses with Mac and Ike. How prepared or excited do you think your team is still?
I mean, I hope they really just prepare for practice one. We ain't ready for Mac and Ike yet. We don't really do all that stuff. We got to get practice one done. So I'm really excited for practice one. I'm excited to see who shows up and who's coming out to be great and who want to change the culture of practice one. That's what we got to work and focus on right now is practice one.
Mr. Deans, why don't you pick up the microphone since you were the first one to put us on the spot. So, all right, so from your perspective, new coach come in, how would you describe him? Outside of the word corny, let's not use that. What else, has he won you over into what he believes in and kind of speak for the team about who this man is?
I would just say that's good right here. It's good. It's good. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Right.
Yeah.
I'd say he's a good guy. At first I kind of looked at him. I was like, I don't really know if he. I don't know how to put it. I didn't really trust him.
You had a
like
question
that.
Mark of him.
Yeah, I didn't really trust him like that.
Yeah.
But over the time, he really gained my trust. My first time speaking to him, he opened my mind up. At first, I was just basketball. This is my first year playing football.
Right.
And so he got me out here with football, and he really got my love back for the game. And he really makes the game very fun. And what comes with fun, it's passion with it. Makes you want to keep coming out every day and coming to practice and be consistent with it. And to be great, you have to be consistent. So I would say, he's brought the love for football back for me. That's what I would say. How
excited are you to get started this season with practice number one?
I sound real excited. It's been very fun. I would kind of compare it to basketball. I love basketball, but football is getting there just because of this guy right here.
And how does basketball translate in that fun and excitement to what you're doing here in football?
Really, our coaches, they kind of make put basketball terms to football terms. So it kind of makes it easier for us. It's really easy to get, and like I said,
Getting ready to start it. All right.
Yes, sir.
The Wolverines back in action with Coach Lorenzo Williams. And thank you for showing up for our media day and kind of put you at the caboose there. And we saved the best for last there, right?
I don't know about that yet. Give me a year. Give me a year.
Give me a year.
LeBron James on top.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
So you know what you know.
Okay.
Listen, we're going to pray for this guy.
All right.
We're going to pray for him.
That's it. All right, we're going to come back and close things out, and Lawton High Wolverines, and we're going to finish up with our second annual Media Day live at Salas's on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, live from Salas's Mexican Restaurant as our second annual media day, and boy, I love this because it starts off with football and you can't get enough of it. I want to thank James Wicks from KSWO Channel 7, part of Media Day, and Joey Goodman behind me. Hey, Joey, wave to all your fans, your adoring fans. You'll see him at the Lawton Rangers Rodeo as well. That's coming up this week, and when it's rodeo time, then okay, it's back to school, and then it's back to the network with fall sports, and so we'll have some volleyball coming up. We've also got all of football, and we already told you Thursday, 0 week. We'll start it off right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network, Elgin and MacArthur, Cameron Stadium Thursday, and then followed up by Lawton High and Eisenhower back to their first game of the season, and that is going to be a doozy. That's going to be on Friday night as well. So make sure you download the app. Easy to find, on your phone. Most of us just go to your Apple and Android device. Just search the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's free to download and free to watch. And then we're also on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV, and YouTube. For those who are watching on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Facebook. You like us there, you follow us there, you'll know what's latest, what games we got coming up. You can also subscribe to our newsletter. We've got over 9,000 that want to know what we're going to be doing and when, and you could subscribe to that free on our website as well. And then all the social media platforms, wherever you live, and I say where you live socially. Are you a Facebook person? Are you on Instagram? Are you on TikTok? Or are you on X? You can find us there. Connect, like, and follow and share there as well. Salas's did a great job of hospitality here. Want to thank them. Great Mexican food. You want to think of them first when you think of great Mexican food here at Salas's. And you can join us here for the events like this and our second annual Media Day. So that's going to be wrapped it up for us. And you've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.